Yo, what is going on, man? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be discussing the Bucks win over the Brooklyn Nets. That's right, the Brooklyn Nets took down the super team of James Harden, KD, Kyrie Irving. How does that happen? Well, today we're going to be talking about how it happened. We're going to give you some facts, some stats. You know I'm covering my bases. Before I begin, as usual, if you enjoy these videos, please be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to share these videos. Word of mouth helps a lot. That would be much appreciated. So let's just go ahead and get into this, man. During this series, the Brooklyn Nets, they had some setbacks. Unfortunately, Kyrie Irving got injured during the series. He injured his ankle, as well as James Harden. Harden had a hamstring injury. And overall, it kind of left KD out there solo by himself. So Kyrie was able to play the first few games, but as I said, he came down on his ankle pretty bad. He kind of got into a small collision with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it changed the series quickly. Kyrie Irving was a difference maker in the series. He was putting up great stats. He was scoring at an efficient clip, and he was able to play make and help his teammates as well. So losing a player of that caliber is pretty big. Now, as I said, Kyrie Irving got injured during the series. At the start of the series, James Harden was sitting due to his hamstring injury, so a lot of the pressure was on Kevin Durant. And to Kevin Durant's credit, he was able to live up to that pressure. He was able to handle that all those expectations set on him. During the series, he averaged 35 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists. That is not bad at all. You know, Kevin Durant is always talking about how he believes he's one of the best players in the world, one of the best players in the league. Well, on the biggest stage, he was able to prove that. In fact, they probably would have won this series if he didn't have his foot on the line during a big three-pointer that, well, turns out to be a big two-pointer that he hit. If his foot was behind the line, it would have been a big three. And this game was literally won just on a few inches So this series really could have gone either way. It was a very entertaining series. It was a very interesting series to watch too. It was interesting to see Giannis Antetokounmpo struggle at the free throw line. There was times where he couldn't hit a shot. There was times where Middleton disappeared. There was times where, although James Harden was injured, he was able to hit big shots, especially his big bank shot he hit in Game 7. There's been times where KD has just been out of his mind, just scoring at a crazy clip. So this series has been very interesting to watch. As I said, bringing it back to the Nets players, James Harden, he averaged 10 and 6, and that's not normal James Harden. We all know that he was playing out there gimped, he was playing out there hurt. So these numbers for James Harden, they aren't good, and it just kind of shows how hurt he truly was. Another good role player for the Brooklyn Nets was Blake Griffin. Blake was able to average 12 and 7, which is pretty good. Now, what happens next with Blake Griffin is going to be interesting. He obviously got out of his deal with the Detroit Pistons, where he was making a lot of money. He came to the Brooklyn Nets for way less money because he wanted to win a championship. What does he do now? Does he go back into the market and try to get a big contract with another team now that he's proven that he can be a good role player? Does he take less money and stick it out with the Brooklyn Nets, because they probably give you the best chance of winning the championship? So what happens with him is going to be interesting to see. Bruce Brown as well, he played great. Now, I don't think Bruce Brown is that great of a player. I think he was a good role player. I think if a team gives him a lot of money, I don't think he's going to be performing at the efficiency that he did with the Brooklyn Nets. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens to him. And overall, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the core of the Brooklyn Nets. They also have a player in Spencer Dinwiddie, who they could try to bring back. He was out a large majority of the season due to injury. So it's going to be interesting to see what moves the Brooklyn Nets do make to go forward. Now, let's just go ahead and look at the series numbers here. Obviously, the Brooklyn Nets won the first 2 games. Bucks won the next 2. And then the Bucks were able to close it out pretty much after winning at home and going into Brooklyn and still in Game 7. What's next for the Milwaukee Bucks? They could be taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. That would be very entertaining. I would like to see that. Or they could be taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the Atlanta Hawks are a very, very interesting team. They have shooters all over the place, and they can space the floor. They have their playmaker in Trae Young, who can also score, but they also have shooters surrounding him like Bogey, Gallinari, Lou Williams, Kevin Huerter, Red Velvet. You know, they have shooters all over the place. So what's next for the Milwaukee Bucks is going to be interesting to see. Overall, like I said, this was a great series. Brooklyn Nets and Bucks, it was definitely lived up to all the hype. Going forward, the Brooklyn Nets are going to have to retool their team. Going forward, how far can the Milwaukee Bucks go? You know, they struggled a lot in this series. It seems like whenever the pressure is on them that they are not able to handle it. It seems like Coach Mike Budenholzer has trouble making adjustments on the fly. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. There's rumors out there that Mike Budenholzer could lose his job if he doesn't get to at least the finals. So there's a lot of pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sure Giannis is getting up a lot of free throw attempts right now. He's getting up some shots, getting down his form. I'm sure Middleton, he's getting in some work too. Or the guys just could be resting. You know, they just got through with the 7-game series. So who knows what happens next. But hey man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to get in and get out. Typically my videos run a little long. They go about 10 minutes. I'm trying a different format now. We're just trying to cover our bases quickly and give you guys the info. So once again, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and share them with your friends. And I'm Leezy, and I am out of here. Everyone have a good one.